This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Andy, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard, boys and girls. Time to rock and roll for the next couple of hours. Thank you for joining us. As always, appreciate everybody out there for joining us on the program. There we go. I think we got to, the other way? It's the other way? Okay, let's see. There we go. I don't know. Is it that way? Is that better? Is that better? Slightly better? All right, let's go. All right, there we go. We're out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, like we do twice a month out here. And a little late, but, hey, man, we're not necessarily tied to exact times. That's the beauty of running your own show. We're not on corporate time, baby. Anyway, we've had a long 2 weeks. We've worked pretty hard here over the last 2 weeks, especially when I stuck in that little trip over to Atlanta to go see Metallica and Greta. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturday and Sunday, I got to say, but today, you wake up with a little pep in your step. The Dolphins came up with just a magical performance last night. That was awesome. Not expected, but so Dolphins, right? When you least expect it, here it comes, a performance, and one that, at times we have watched them this year get outworked, outcoached. And it was just really nice last night that it was our team that was dictating the game, dictating how it was going to be played. And why? Because that defense, man, you got to give Flo and company credit, and Josh Boyer, when we listen, offensively, they're still light years away. And wait till I get into a subject that I want to get into on this, but we will down the line, as I'm going to talk about it. But last night was just a lot of fun, because it's no fun watching your team lose every week, watching your team look discombobulated, unprepared, outcoached, all of those things. And I'll give Brian Flores credit on this sense that he has yet to lose his team. They have played hard for him, even through all of this crap that's gone on, and now they've won 2 in a row. And last week we won. We watched the win, and we were all happy that they won, but it wasn't the kind of win that you're prideful in. You know what I mean? And last night, man, I know the offense wasn't beautiful, but they produced a little bit more. It was nice to see Tua play. They made some plays. I love Waddle, man. The more I see Jalen Waddle, the more I'm convinced the kid can be a flat-out star. It's just everything is limiting him around him right now, and it's not allowing him to be what he can be. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, the effort of some of these young cats. We're watching Jalen Phillips grow. Javon Holland is becoming a beast. There's a lot of things to really like about last night's game, and you just hope now that it rolls over, right? I mean, That's the key. Can you get this deep? Now, remember, you want this defense, but this defense won't work against everybody. Okay? You blitz Dan Marino this way, you're dead. You blitz John Elway this way, you're dead. You blitz Tom Brady this way, you're dead. You blitz Aaron Rodgers this way, you're dead. You get my drift. You blitz Warren Moon this way, you're dead, because those are real passers. Last night, and I've been saying this for several years now about Lamar. He's a phenomenal athlete, man. I get it, dude. He runs like lightning. He's a freak of all freaks. But once you take the running game out of the dog, he's not going to beat you with his arm, dude. He can't sit back there in the pocket and pick you apart because he's not a pure passer. He has never been a pure passer. He never will be a pure passer because he's an athlete playing quarterback. And they made him the athlete trying to play quarterback last night. And since he can't read, react, and be accurate right away, you got away with it. Now, as expected now, the Baltimore Ravens are going to get a dose of this now every week, because everybody saw what Miami did. Other teams are going to say, okay, that's the blueprint right there. That's how you beat these guys. Because if you allow them to run wild, you're done, because he can play off of the run. You know, it's a lot like Ryan Tannehill, except it's two different kinds of running games. You know, Ryan needs the running game in order for him to be really effective. You know, if not, he can just maybe game manage on the best case scenarios. So I love what they did last night. They forced him and said, all right, kid, you want to beat us? You got to beat us with this. You're going to have to beat us with this. You're going to have to beat us with this. And you're going to have to beat us with this. Not with this. And that was, I mean, I know that as Dolphins, we were all worried. Can they maintain this for 4 quarters, right? Because through a half, you're like sitting there going, damn, that's fun. That's awesome. But, man, we need more points. Now, defense, and you're worried. It's only human nature. We were worried that they would run out of gas. And then, then eventually they start busting the runs. And then Lamar gets the easy throws. And then, it's over. It was, and it didn't happen. And I'm hoping we saw some good defense against Tyrod Taylor, but again, not a passer. So you got what? The Jets coming up. Nobody tested at that point. Carolina, what? Cam Newton, please give me a break. All you got to do is stop the run, and Cam Newton is useless. The Giants, I don't think Daniel Jones is this passer yet that can really, burn you that much. He's gotten better, but it's still, it's a winnable game. Then you got the Jets again. So you've got winnable games. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just want to talk about the Jets coming up in 10 days. Take care of business against the Jets. Show me that you can do this again. Show me that you can stifle somebody. And now let's see if this offense can get a little better with Tua. I don't know about the offensive line. I really don't. And after Omar Kelly joins us now here at 10:30, after Omar Kelly, I want to talk a little bit about something and get into a subject that a lot of us have been talking about. And last night shed a lot of light on it. And I'm gonna explain to you what I saw. And I don't know. And again, this is just, we're going to be talking and we're going to be going back and forth and all that beautiful stuff. And we don't really know, but I've got an interesting take on something that developed last night that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Daniel Grafton, by the way, thank you, sir. You appreciate you chiming in on the super chat. He says, can confirm Ross was there. Saw him talking to other people at the bar, not drinking at Club 72. Fins up, baby. Great win. Yeah, when Omar was saying that, I said, hey, you got to pump your brakes, bro. It's a big stadium. There's a lot of suites. Maybe Ross also thought they were going to lose, and Ross didn't want to be on camera. You know what I'm saying? That could be
they did get Marino again. There were shots of Marino again.
And there was a part where he was chewing us, and it looked like he was like kind of mad or bitter.
That's the picture I'm talking about.
Yeah.
As a still.
And you know what I also thought of? Marino's like, these two women behind me won't shut up. Just check it out. You'll see Marino's face, and he's got like this bitter beer face, from that commercial. What was the name of that bitter beer commercial? What was I forgot the name of that company. They used to. It was actually a funny commercial. The bitter beer face, huh? No, it wasn't Bud Light. Was it Bud Light? I thought it was like a new beer at that time that was coming out. Yeah, if you put bitter beer face, it'll come out. It'll definitely come out if you put Keystone. See, I told you, Keystone Light. That's it, exactly. I mean, who the hell's going to remember that? Who drinks Keystone, bro? But I remember the commercials because the commercials were actually kind of funny. But if you look at it, right, exactly. If you look at Marino, and then there are two women that are chattering behind, and it's just, I'm sure he wasn't saying that to himself, but it was just kind of funny. You can actually use it as that. So we await Omar Kelly here for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Remember to hit the smash the like button. Did we get finally to 1,000 on that post game show? Because we left it closer to 800. It was like 760 or something like that. I forgot what it was, but I'm hoping there. So hit that like button while you're watching there. I appreciate you all out there. And man, it is it's just a great day, man. This is like, and it sucked that the Panthers lost last night. They've lost 3 in a row. The Heat lost last night. They've lost 3 in a row, 4 or 5. So, those things are a little depressing, but I got to tell you, man, it was, I will have a big old smile on my face all weekend long because of this Dolphins win. It was just so sweet for them to go out there and watch some of these young guys. Actually, we have 1,000K. Nice. We hit the 1,000. Thank you out there. 1,000 likes in yesterday's post-game show. So that is absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. It is very important that you smash that like button. All of you right now that are watching, that gets the algorithms going. That gets it up to other Dolphin fans and Heat fans and Marlins fans and Panther fans and Inter Miami fans and all that good stuff, because we got South Florida fans all over the world. So, and we have South Florida fans that are still kind of finding out more and more about this. It's funny. We are the most downloaded sports talk show in South Florida. We have more downloads than the entire station of WQAM combined. Okay? All right? You can put all of their shows together and they don't out download us. We do double or triple of what they do combined. All right? So clearly we are the number one listened to sports talk show here in South Florida by miles. But yet we still have to get it out there. I get people all the time that say, I just found you on YouTube. I just found out that you were here. Just found out that you do this every day. This and that. It's a talk show every day. It's not like, yeah, it's a talk show. And then it's podcasted. You know what I mean? So live, you got it right here. Podcasted, it's there for you at any time. But you right there are the reason why we are growing like crazy, because you have smashed that like button. You know who we like? We like Omar Kelly. And EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. That's next. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843. For EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
He is the man that was also working late like the rest of us, and I'm sure a lot of fans were working late too because they were watching the game also, and some of them hanging out with us on the post-game show. So I know it's not an easy morning today, but it's a good morning, right? I mean, the way they played yesterday, that was a lot of fun. The question for you is, how encouraging is it for the future?
Wow, you hit me with the future word.
Next couple weeks, by the way. I'm not talking about next couple years. I'm just talking about
I don't want to get it.
It's 2 in a row now, so can you make it 3 in a row with the Jets? Are you expecting the defense has come up with 2 terrific performances. So, have they found their mojo is the question.
Defense might have found their mojo. Young players are playing better, as they generally do in the second half of the season. The Jalen Phillips, the Javon Hollins, the Brandon Jones. They're kind of finding, Jerome Baker's gotten healthy. Xavier and Byron Jones are healthier. I think Emmanuel Ogbah is playing at a pretty.
He's been playing well all year, bro.
Yeah,
all year. And by the way, Javon Holland he had his moments too in the first half. Jalen, I will give it to you.
He is a completely different player right now than he was the first month of the season, as all young players should be.
Baby,
and they truly believe in him. I mean, the whole defense revolves around Javon Holland right now, which is there was an adjustment period that was happening, and I don't think he was playing that great. But ultimately, he's getting his footing and he's playing well. Can the defense continue to play like this? Yeah, I think they can. When Raekwon Davis got in there and got healthy,
good point.
They instantly became better against the run. I mean, outside of Josh Allen's major run that sort of spiked Buffalo's numbers, I don't believe they've allowed a 100-yard rusher except for Buffalo in all the games that Raekwon Davis has actually started and finished. Last night, same thing, 94 yards for the Ravens. So I'm still not comfortable with the linebacker play. I think Duke Riley probably can help. Has helped. The cornerbacks, I think they're playing relatively well for what they do, which is basically on an island, no help, and asked to bring it down. Xavier is delivering key plays again, so that's a step in the right direction.
He's been very mediocre this year, my brother. 2 plays don't make a season. He's been burned for 6 touchdowns. He had a couple missed tackles again last night. He made a bad penalty. He made a bad penalty in the back. Let's not blow up Xavier when he doesn't deserve it, bro. He made 2 big plays.
His job is to deliver turnovers, and he's got 4 on the season.
He's been very inconsistent. He is not playing like Pat or Sam, who are left on an island constantly. And we don't. I'm not making any excuses for them.
I don't think his game is Pat or Sam. His game is get the ball, and I think his commitment to getting the ball is very evident, and it's basically responsible for 2 of your victories this season. So,
no, there's no doubt, but they're actually strips. They're not really interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter. It's however you get the ball.
But he's had a ton of crap plays, dude. A ton this year. He's been mediocre, Omar. I don't know if we're making excuses for the guy.
I didn't expect him to be a shutdown corner. Nobody's ever told you he was a shutdown corner.
Well, that's what they're paying him to be, Omar.
Nobody has ever said to you Xavier is a shutdown corner.
Yeah.
Who has ever told you Xavier is a shutdown corner?
Dude, that's how you're paying him, Omar. You're paying him to
get the ball. Corner. You're paying him to get the ball.
No.
You're paying him to produce turnovers.
That's part of a shutdown corner, man.
No. Yeah. No, that wasn't Sam Madison's game. That was Sam. Now Sam was a shutdown corner.
And so was Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain. But while they had opportunities and they got turnovers, like Xavier's on a different level of turnover creating. I think he might be number one in the NFL since joining the NFL.
Well, then I could say Sam and Pat are on a different level covering NFL receivers on a consistent basis.
I have never ever said like Xavier will leave his guy open. That's
I know that.
But that's been consistent going back to last year. What you ignore was the fact that he got turnovers. Like as long as Xavier is producing turnovers,
there's more to it than that, man.
There's a lot more to it. I never said that.
A real corner has to do more than just come up with 2 turnovers, and they're big turnovers.
He's got 4 turnovers.
I get it, but I'm talking about the 2 that have helped in games. Even though last night they scored more than.
Tell me who else is winning games for this team.
The defense won the game for the team.
Okay, who else
without pressure, you don't get those opportunities.
And without pressure, you don't get great coverage.
Right. Well, no. That yesterday the coverage came more from the front 7 than anything else.
It's everybody plays together. Like I don't understand how you expect Xavier to cover Stephon Diggs all day when Stephon Diggs can run option routes and can run whatever he wants. Has all day to change directions. Like, what do you expect a cornerback to do? Especially when they don't have to. Especially when there's no pressure on the quarterback to throw the ball. Like there was the last couple of weeks. I mean, they have. Okay, 2 weeks, great. What about the rest of the rest of the games?
That you're right. When you're left on an island and there's no pressure, that puts you in a difficult situation.
I don't have this. I don't have this vision of Xavier being a shutdown corner. Yeah, he shadows guys. He takes on your best wide receiver, and generally he's there because he's going to get more opportunities to get the ball, which is what he does, and he's pretty good at it. Not to say that his game is perfect, but he gets the ball, and it kind of leads to wins.
The New England game, this one really wasn't point-wise. They still scored enough to.
Oh, you crazy. If you think that interception.
15-10.
Oh, yeah.
Without the touchdown.
No, the touchdown, the turnover and the touchdown. If Lamar Jackson just has to drive the length of the field to score points, like, come on. He's going to do that.
No, he only did that once. Omar.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
he did it once. He did it once, and he did it at the end of the game.
Is Lamar Jackson an MVP of the league?
He's in the talk. Yeah.
No, he has won it.
Oh
right?
No! You mean before?
So don't you expect MVPs of the league to deliver fourth quarter victories? Isn't that the expectation?
Well, see, you and I are different on this. He's not the passer to do those kind of things.
He did it earlier this season on Monday Night Football.
As long as he's running. As long as
he
he's
did
running.
That passing.
No.
Passing to
Andrews. But what you're not understanding is if you're not running, he's not passing. Just like last night. When you can't run, he can't pass because he can't beat you from the pocket. That's not who he is. He's never been that.
I saw plenty of opportunities for him to run. I saw plenty of opportunities for him to run. And he chose not to run. Now, I would not have made that choice, but I understand why he made that choice. He's trying to have a long, healthy NFL career where he gets a $300 million paycheck. I get it. But for me, if I wanted to win that game and I'm Lamar Jackson, I would have ran. He could have ran for about 50 more yards in that game.
I don't know. It looked to me like every time he chose to run, there was a body there.
But there were plenty of
ready to hit him.
He could have thrown. There were plenty of opportunities. I watched it from the field. There were plenty of opportunities. He could have scrambled and there was nobody there, and he chose to throw it.
I saw plenty of opportunities where he wanted to run, and there was a Dolphin defender every single time. No,
they had his number.
Wait a minute. I am completely wrong. I saw him wanting to run many times, and I saw 2 to 3 Dolphin defenders around his ass. That Dolphin line burned that line all night long. The Baltimore Ravens had no answer for that blitz, and they were around Lamar. I disagree with you. I don't think if Lamar had more chances to run, he would have been able to do it. I think the Dolphins shut down Lamar last night. Lamar didn't shut himself down. And if he did, he's pretty stupid. You know why? He's not good enough to beat anybody from the pocket. He has to run in order to beat you. If he doesn't have those linebackers on their heels, he's done. It's the same thing as Tennessee. If you put your linebackers on the heel because they got to worry about freaking Henry, you're done. But if they're coming forward all the time, it's over because Tannehill's not going to beat you from the pocket on a consistent basis. It's the same thing. It's the same concept.
There was there was an overtime game. I can't remember, or earlier this season. It was like Monday Night Football, maybe against the Colts, where he came back from, fourth quarter. Like he's done it. I mean, he's an MVP of the league.
The sun shines on every dog's ass every once in a while.
He's an MVP. Like
I know he's an MVP.
Different conversation.
He's an MVP when they run. When they run.
Yeah,
when you eliminate the run from the Ravens, he will not beat you with his arm. That's not who he is. It's just not who he is.
I don't disagree with your point, but I saw plenty of opportunities for him to run. He chose to pass, and then when he tried to run, the Dolphins were there.
I don't think you're giving the Dolphin defense enough credit last night, man.
No, they played well.
John Harbaugh,
I don't even put it on the defense. I put it on the coaches because the scheme was wonderful.
I saw a bottle this tall of Maalox right next to John Harbaugh. He couldn't figure a damn thing out. He was looking at his defensive coordinator going, what the hell's going on here? Lamar was on the sidelines going, I can't explain what's going on.
No, they knew what was going on. They were zero blitzing them, and I thought the Ravens' game plan was dumb. I thought, the lateral passing, just put it over the top. Like there's zero blitzing.
They didn't have a lot of time for that, dude.
But you could just put a ball with arc and air. And that might not be his game, but I'm sorry, there's zero blitzing. You got one-on-one on the boundaries. Go for it.
But you just said it. He's not a touch guy. That's not who he is.
Listen, it was a masterful game plan from start to finish. The 3 inside linebackers and Jerome Baker on the edge. They started killing Miami on the edges, and then they went away from it. Or Dolphins contained it, whichever one you want to think. But it was a masterful game plan. Flores, really, and Coyle. No, is that Boyer? Yes, I mess up my.
You're on 3 hours of sleep. Relax, bro.
There are a lot of. Trust me, I've been covering a lot of defensive coordinators over the years, so they all blend in together. They did it was a brilliant game plan. There have been so many instances throughout Flores' career where I look at the defensive game plan and I think to myself, that's brilliant. Why is this the first time anybody has ever thought about this? And having 3 inside linebackers, 3 guys whose job is to read, diagnose, and then react, to play Lamar in his face. And then have Jerome, who's a great blitzer. I think a very underrated blitzer. They don't blitz him nearly enough.
They did last year. Right.
They didn't blitz him enough last year. I don't even think he had 7 sacks.
But he was more active last year is my point. That's why he got the 7 sacks I think he had last year?
I think they can his timing is impeccable on blitzes. Mm-hmm. So I would blitz him from the inside way more often. But anyway, that's another story for another time.
By the way, speaking of that, I think Brandon Jones has that same knack too. He's a really good blitzer.
He's horrible in coverage, but he's a dynamic blitzer.
Relax. He's a young kid. He's growing, bro. I like Brandon's got moxie, bro. I've loved Brandon Jones from the second I've watched this kid.
I know you have. There's a lot of guys with moxie. Can they play? You want to sit here. Brandon Jones is one.
He can make some plays, dude. He's already made some plays. Brandon's been all right.
Outside of blitzing. But
I mean, hitting people and even helping out a little bit on the run and everything.
Yes.
Remember, everybody's got to develop differently, and they have him in a different role. So this is kind of what he's filling, and eventually he'll develop. We're watching Jalen Phillips. At the beginning of the season, looks kind of lost. Now you're starting to see Jalen Phillips more and more and more. So it's just one of those things that we have to be patient with some of these young cats because it takes them a little
I
while.
ain't being patient. I'm tired. I'm not being patient.
But you can't put 20 years of frustration into Jalen Phillips. It's not his fault.
I'm sorry.
Omar, all right?
I'm sorry.
Cam Cameron's not his fault, dude.
I have the greatest amount of respect for Gerald Alexander, but I have no desire to be patient with anything related to the Dolphins anymore.
You're terrible.
None. Zero. Zilch. My patience is worn out. They're done. They have used it all, Big O. Every single drop.
Don't say that, bro. That's not right. Dude.
They have used every single drop of patience and tolerance and understanding and excuse making that they can possibly muster. It's gone. I am so not tolerant with like. Here's the thing about that performance. Nobody expected it. It was.
Yeah, no, I know. Nobody expected it.
It was wonderful. But you shouldn't wait until game number 9 to be and just the defense, because the offense is still a dude fest.
Yeah. No, the offense is what the offense is.
But let's get on the offense. But my point is, nobody should wait till game number 9 on a team that has continuity to be playing at a level that's respectable. You have not played at a level that's respectable all season until yesterday.
Well, hold on a second. The coach didn't help by continuing Brissett. Then he went to Tua, and things opened up a little bit. Obviously, as much as you possibly can.
I am still
the
on
offensive
the
line.
I'm still on the fence on that.
Well, you want to watch Jacoby Brissett?
No, I don't want to watch Jacoby Brissett. No, I don't.
Jacoby Brissett.
But his decision, yes, we're sitting here debating the outcome, and that's an important part of it because we now know what the alternative is. And Jacoby healthy isn't very good. And but now we know a 70% Tua is better than a healthy Jacoby, which I don't think we knew before.
No, you didn't know. I knew. You didn't know, but I knew. I'm sorry. Don't throw me in there, dude, okay?
No. But
I'm not a jabroni brisket fan, dude, okay?
I'm not a Jacoby Brissett fan either. But when you think about it this way, they had to alter their offense so much to the point where Tua can't throw the ball more than 20 yards. Yeah, the arc passes where he threw to Waddle, and those were impressive, and the big play to Albert Wilson. But those were created by the defense being in 20 yards in the box. Like nobody was deep.
And luckily the Ravens suck in the secondary.
Yes, you were the one that pointed it out to me. They weren't playing well, and they had just a ton of breakdowns. But they were running like a high school offense for Tua, and I mean, it worked. And here's the thing that bothers me a little. This is what bothers me the most about listening to the press conference yesterday, where Flores says, "Yeah, when Jacoby's in there, we really can't run the RPO. We when Tua got in there, we got to run the RPO more. The RPO is your base offense. It is your meat and potatoes. So why would you play why can't Jacoby run the RPO? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And 2,
why couldn't he?
Why can't he?
He can't move.
Tua can't move. That's
not true, dude.
He
was a decent athlete.
RPO has nothing to do with
Jabroni is not an athlete at all. He's a big lugging dude that you're not going to.
You watch him scramble around and you watch him scramble around and evade pressure. He's athletic enough.
Any of us can run for our lives. I mean, when you're running for your life, just have a 300-pound defensive end running at me. You see my fat ass run fast too.
Amount of carries, 18 on the season, and Jacoby has 6 more yards than Tua. So to I mean, come on, it's not apples and oranges. The RPO doesn't even involve a running quarterback. The RPO just involves a quick decision-making quarterback who throws with accuracy and makes quick, sharp, smart decisions. Tua is the master at it. They teach RPO in college and high school using Tua film. So it's there. That's what you're building your offense for. But why can't Jacoby run it? Why can't you give Jacoby an RPO play where he's handing off the ball, or he's keeping it and he's throwing a slant, or he's throwing a drag, like, or he's
you running an RPO with Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers can run an RPO if he wants to.
They don't. You don't run it with Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, so you put
Jacoby
Brissett in there.
These big lugging dudes. Yeah, I don't think
it's not the big lug.
And I got to tell you something, Omar. If you think that's going to make him a better quarterback,
no,
a better passer,
my thought process
somehow his completion percentage is going to go up and he's going to make more plays. I'm sorry, I just
why do you? But here's the question I have for you, and I get it. And Tua's like, yeah, we went on the sidelines before in the point where they were punting, and the defense was there, and we worked out what plays I want to run and what plays to call for me. And I'm like, huh? So hold on, wait a minute. You don't go into the game. I know it's a Thursday night game, but you don't go into the game with a backup package for your backup quarterback? Like, what kind of foolishness is this?
They didn't even think he was going. They didn't even.
No, he didn't think he didn't even have his eye black painted.
Right.
Like,
which by the way, Tua, don't paint your eyes anymore. You won. So let's let's not break the streak. I don't want to see the crosses on the eyes.
You're gonna see the crosses on the eyes.
No war paint against the Jets.
You're gonna see the crosses on the eyes. He's got to let people know he's a believer, like Tebow. Listen,
but we already know. You don't need we know you're in the God Squad, bro. It's all good. You don't need to put it. Okay, you won. You won without. We're 2-0. We're 2-0 at Sports Grill in Bird Road. Some things can't change, Omar. You just can't do that.
I'm going to ask him about the eye black. I felt like asking him last night, like, bro. And he was so down before the game.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, and he basically was like, yeah, they didn't let me get a snap in practice. And I get it. You got a bum finger. And he admitted, my finger hurts. It hurts. He's like, have you ever tried to throw with a
broken fracture, bro? Of course it's going to hurt, dude.
But why isn't it?
What fracture doesn't hurt?
Why isn't it in a splint when he's not practicing?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I barely slept last night, and I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn, so I can't answer that. I don't know why, but
listen. But I have come to the conclusion. I am here right now. Here's where I am. Okay, and I know it's taken me a minute to get there. But a 70% Tua with a weak arm and a busted finger is better than 100% Brissett. And Brissett is not 100% right now.
Marino can fire balls out of his ass better than
don't put them in the same conversation. Don't put them in the same.
No, I'm saying Marino's ass can pass better than Brissett. Not his arm, his ass.
I'm not gonna dog Brissett.
He'll just fart and it'll go 30 yards right on a dart.
I'm not gonna dog Brissett because on the list of people who have disappointed this offense.
Just make that image in your mind too, by the way, what I'm saying. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
On the list of people, I'm not gonna dog Brissett because on the list of people who have disappointed the Dolphins in 2021, I'm not even sure Brissett makes the top 10.
Yeah, I don't blame Jabroni because I blame Flo because he had fits and he goes, nah, I don't need him. I'm gonna go get this.
He's got $10 million, bro, to be a starter. Yeah, I mean, the question is, could you have had a better quarterback option, maybe one that can run the RPO? And I don't have the answer to that, to be honest with you. I don't.
I don't know who else was free agent at that moment and all that. And plus when you know that Tua is your starter. And
who's going to come?
Right, exactly. Then it has to be somebody that is willing to come here and know that he is the backup for the moment, at least until Flo doesn't like you.
But here's the thing: Flo basically insinuated last night that it's the medical staff that decides Tua's status, and yes, he plays a hand in it. But basically, the trainers are like, he can't play or shouldn't play, but he could be a backup, and Tua, and he's got to protect Tua from himself. And Tua even admitted, yes, he has to protect me from me. And I that's the first time I've ever heard a player be honest about it. And that's the one thing. Tua's very honest. But when you look at it in hindsight, like, bro, him with a bum arm and a bad finger is still better than Jacoby.
Yep.
So that means he has to play. moving forward.
Yeah.
Because he gives your team the best chance to win on Sunday.
Of course. I mean, most of us wanted to see Tua. We didn't want to see Brissett.
I mean, it's not about what you want to see. It's not about what you want to see, because last year you wanted to see Tua,
Brissett is
he wasn't a better quarterback.
No, but Brissett is depressing because it's almost like you have no shot with him. That's the problem with him. He inspires nothing. You know what I mean? And I got to admit, when I saw Tua was coming in, him or the defense, however you want to look at it, whatever, dude. I give the defense. I have to give the credit the last 2 weeks, dude. I mean, you know, the offense was better this week than last week, but I got to give Omar. I'm giving the defense the love for the last 2 weeks. I mean,
they've scored more than 21 points 3 times this season. That league is averaging 24 points.
Yeah, no, we know. We know they can't score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse. We know. You know, it's
how much does it take to score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse?
Sean? What am I going to do? Make Sean in trouble, not me or you.
All
right, Omar. Appreciate you. What are you working on in the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
I'm trying to create a column about where has this defense been.
Yes,
it's been.
Where's the amoeba been? The amoeba.
They've been running it, bro. It's been not effective. Tua just posted on Instagram.
What do you post?
I don't know. I'd have to click on it to see, but I got a notification. Tua. I mean, it's always something corny, generally, or marketing, or something very super marketing packaged. He's such a marketed kid, and it's.
Oh, he tell Omar I'm wearing eye black.
Stop it. Anyway,
I'm just saying. I mean, he just said it. You know? No, he just put. Let's see. Yeah, head down, keep going. That's it. Just head down, keep going.
Listen, hey, he was so disappointed and like kind of frustrated, you could sense. And I watched Duke Riley kind of give him a pep talk, and I know I'm a lip reader, and I was just like, man.
Landon Roberts last week. This week it's Duke.
Oh, was it Landon last week? I didn't know Landon did it last week.
Oh yeah, no, that's been the whole controversy, trying to read Landon's lips, talking to Tua, and it's like, hey, yo, it's not you, it's these clowns around you, you know.
Nah, that line ain't coming from a Landon. A Landon is a part of the clown show. Oh boy, that's gonna get me. Hopefully nobody copies that, because Landon is Lieutenant Flores. Landon is his #1 lieutenant.
I don't know about that, bro.
Oh yes, trust me. He's the #1 flow lieutenant. He's the locker room snitch.
Let's see. Let's see if the locker. Well, man, that's rough there, bro. I hope Landon Roberts doesn't catch. How blessed to hear that part there.
Hey, everybody knows he's
I think you're better off calling them a clown show than calling a Landon Roberts a snitch. I'm just saying, bro.
Everybody knows he's a flow guy. That's Flo's guy. He's the flow disciple. Landon's gonna be part of his coaching staff by the time he's done.
How do you know Kyle Van Noy? He doesn't have a Kyle Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy got kicked out of here because he was challenging the coaching staff too much.
Oh, there you go.
So, you know, not that I like Kyle Van Noy, because I don't, but hey, sometimes, and that's what I respect. Sometimes players have to call out coaches because coaches do some BS. And when nobody calls them out on it, then they just, you know, the players just sitting there grumbling, oh, you see what they're doing? You see what they're calling? Why are they calling this? Why are they doing that? Somebody's got to step to them and be like, yo, this ain't working. You're not playing. Fix it. You got to run this. And that was what Kyle Van Noy did. I unfortunately, I got to say, they miss him on this defense, which, you know, I would have never believed words would come out my mouth.
By the way, Tua posted, what is it, a story? Oh, it's an Instagram story. There it is. That's what he posted. The other one was an old one.
Okay.
Yeah, team performance.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. So
yeah.
I read the old one.
Corny. Always corny. It's
He's a good kid, bro.
he's a good kid, and he's
God,
so you
I
see
root
he's
for
got
him.
it. You see it. No
I know
arm, no fingers.
No, I still think he can play in this league. You just got to do the right
Of
things
course he can
around him.
play in this league. He's a starter in this league.
Sean Payton would have him as a star, bro. You just got to have the right coach that understands him and put him in the right positions, and I think he'll be just fine in this league. You know, I've watched guys with his kind of arm have success. When you have his brain and his ball placement and his accuracy, you can succeed in this league in a big time way.
Pocket presence. Don't forget the pocket presence.
He has it, but
He has it.
He just needs help, dude. He needs a real offensive coach.
What he needs is a real running back. He needs a real running back.
Well, once you get a real line, you'll get the real running back eventually. That'll happen.
We're not doing that, man. You got to get that dog. You can't.
I get that, but even if you get a dog behind this line, he'll get dogged. So you still got to get the line to protect the quarterback and get the running back.
I think a dog behind this line would do just all right. I really do.
I mean, like Ricky? Like Ricky? That's what you're saying?
No, I think Najee Harris would do damn fine in this line. But, they don't have any vision. They think they could get a running back off the scrap heap, off the minimum waiver wire and bull.
Sometimes Miles Gaskin doesn't have vision. Anyway, listen, I appreciate it as always, my brother. We will catch up later in the week. Follow him on Twitter for those of you listening on the podcast at Omar Kelly, and more importantly, catch his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Subscribe, support our local journalists who do an excellent job. Omar, much love. Get some rest, my man.
All right, appreciate you, big guy.
You got it. There you go. All right, Omar Kelly. We'll catch him next week. I said later in the week. Next week on Monday, he'll be back on with us. We'll have Manny Navarro joining us at the bottom of the hour to talk a little Canes. We can preview a little Canes, a little Seminoles at noon. Ira Winderman is going to stop by and join us, and we'll have a little fun. Now, I wanted to get into this conversation. Oh, by the way, this was our EJD Construction.com Miami Dolphins reports.
The Big O. You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
By the way, Donnie Uhrig, thank you, sir, for giving us a little love on Venmo. He says, good morning, Big O. Awesome night. Defense played inspired. Love the Javon Holland kid. Enjoy watching him. O-line still terrible. Leonardo, New Jersey, checking in. Omar, you are the best. There you go. So the Duck Dog checks in. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, as always, supporting the program, Donnie. And, of course, remember, you can support us by making a donation. Cash App or Venmo. It's right there at the bottom of the YouTube page. I want to get into this Dolphin topic that I think some people aren't looking at. And again, I know why, because a lot of us have our minds made up. Some of us aren't willing to maybe admit, hey, maybe I got to, look at this a little different or something like that. And some of you have Flo fired. I'm not happy with Flo. I worry that he can't build a staff. If he can't build a staff, he'll never win here. So I'm one of those guys that I'm pretty much off the Flo bandwagon. He's going to have to do a lot on the offensive side to convince me that he can get it done. And that's a real problem for him now for 3 years in a row. Now, he'll get an opportunity next year to try to fix it one more time with the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach, and we'll see. But I want to show you something. I want to talk a little bit about the Dolphins and what's happening, what happened last night and what's been happening the last couple of, I would say, weeks. And it's kind of been developing this way. And I know a lot of people sometimes they've made their conclusions. They're looking at it, like you see Omar now, right? He's dead set on not giving, like Brandon Jones a little more credit than he deserves, because the kid has actually been playing well and been helping the team out. So I want to run something by you, because you start looking, all right? Christian Wilkins has had a good year. Emmanuel Ogbah has played really hard this year, man, and gotten and I think a guy that has kind of gotten a raw deal because he's gotten so close. He's had so many pressures, and he just needs to pick up more sacks. But the effort has always been there. Got some batted balls too. Jerome Baker's been, a disappointment compared to last year. I get that. Van Ginkel is now starting to come around. Okay. And then you start looking at some of the young guys. Javon Holland is playing well and developing nicely. Brandon Jones is developing and helping this team out. You look at Jalen Phillips, young guy, developing, playing better and better every week. Love the energy he plays with. I love the enthusiasm that Jalen plays with. That's kind of the rookie thing that comes with it, but I like it, man. I think it's really, really important. And you start seeing that some of these young guys on defense are actually developing, and that draft class is not looking nearly as bad anymore, right? Because Waddle's played well, right? Jalen Phillips has played well. Javon Holland has played well. So you're starting to get some reaction from that draft, right? And then the year before, well, then, Brandon Jones is in that year before. Tua's in that year before. So you start looking at some of these guys that at least can show you a little something, and you start seeing like the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, where's the light at the end of the tunnel with the offensive linemen? So I could argue that with Flo and maybe even Josh Boyer, you've got better coaches on the defensive side of the ball than you do on the offensive side of the ball. So on the offensive side of the ball, you're still pathetic as an offense. You're still pathetic as an offensive line. You really can't get the running game going. Your quarterback is under a mountain of pressure practically on every down. I think last night is starting to prove what I've been talking about from the get-go. This is all about coaching, not about the front office. Maybe not about coaching on the defensive side because you've got Flo there. And now we're watching the defense starting to play well. And, last week we could say, well, the defense played well. And we could say, well, that's Houston. Well, this week it's different. This is a dude that's the enigma. Lamar Jackson is hard to solve. It's hard to stop that running game. It's hard to stop that RPO. It's confusing for people. And Lamar is lightning quick, dude. He's faster than every running back practically in the NFL. He's shiftier than pretty much every running back in the NFL. So he creates a whole different, imbalance for any defense that they have to face every week because nobody outside of Michael Vick has been able to run like Lamar Jackson does. And yet they shut him down. So I'm starting to see more of the bright side from the defensive side, and even some of the players. See, I like I told Omar yesterday, I think Jalen Waddle's a freaking star. He's just stuck in this crap ass offense that doesn't really showcase him. You put him in Green Bay, you put him somewhere with a real quarterback, put him in the Rams with Matt Stafford, put him, with Russell Wilson, and Jalen Waddle would have 1,500 yards this season as a rookie. Okay, he would be an absolute freaking star somewhere else. And the fact that he makes plays after plays and has, I don't know how many first downs the guy has, but it must be about 107 of them. Okay, I mean it's so impressive. But overall, you look at the line, that's where you're hurting, dude. Gesicki plays no matter what. We're watching Jalen Waddle ball no matter what. But the O-line, that tells me that Pepe Le Pew can't do the job. That tells me that your offensive coordinators are just not good enough. They still don't move Tua around enough. And so maybe yesterday, some of that development is, okay, wait a minute, hold on a second. These drafts, You start looking at the defensive players, they're starting to develop. It's we want microwave. We want to put it in, and in 60 seconds, it's done. Well, Jalen Phillips is not going to be done in 60 seconds. Jason Taylor didn't become Jason Taylor till year 3. No matter what anybody tells you. Pat Surtain didn't become Pat Surtain till like year 3. No matter what anybody tells you. So it takes time. So now we're watching some of these defensive players develop, but we're not watching any of the offensive linemen develop. None. The guys that have been here 2 years, the guy that's only been here 1 year, none. Not one. What does that tell you? And then if they're constantly keeping the same 5, then that tells me that the other guys aren't good enough. They're even worse than these guys. Or the fact that they know they're the problem. I'm talking about the coaching. I'm talking about Flo knows he screwed up with Pepe Le Pew as your coach. And again, listen, we can all go back and forth, and we can talk about, hey, can Tua play? Can Tua not play? Chris Greer, should he be fired? Or Flo should be fired? Or fire both of them? And please get rid of Ross and have him pass the team over to the next guy. And whatever, some of you have made your minds up about all kinds of things, just like I have. We're human beings. But I think that as we're watching these next games develop here, okay, you've got, 8 games left, 7 games left? 7 games left. These next 7 games, if we continue with the trajectory of the defense and the young defensive players continue to show improvement, and then we see nothing from the offense, especially the offensive line, because really, what else is there? Waddle? And he's fine. He's not the problem. Then maybe it's coaching. Maybe it's what I thought it was from the get-go. It's not so much the front office. It's not so much Chris Greer. It's not so much anybody that made a personnel decision. It's maybe that Flo screwed up and has the wrong offensive coordinators again, and has the wrong offensive line coach again. Well, I shouldn't say offensive coordinator wrong, because Chan Gailey did a good job last year. But whatever. More often than not, he doesn't have the right guy at offense. And he certainly has not gotten the right offensive line coach. I'm just saying, let's see what happens over the next 7 weeks. If the young defensive players continue to develop and these linemen don't, then we know what really the problem is. Those guys probably are not that bad. And Eichenberg, I think they just have no confidence anymore, too. I think they've been beaten down so much. They've committed so many penalties, and they have no confidence in the people coaching them, that I think we have an offensive line that is mentally broken down. I think we need a new offensive line coach that comes in and rebuilds these guys from inside out, mentally to physically, because you don't dominate like you did at Notre Dame, and then all of a sudden you look like this in the NFL. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. They produce linemen over there, That's why I have a hard time believing what's going on. Even Michael Dieter was showing us something. In Wisconsin, they develop linemen. So I have a problem with this. And I've had it from the get-go with the coaching. And now, last night, I'm watching these defensive players, and I'm going, well, wait a minute. Some of these young guys from these draft class, Waddle, what's it called? I'm looking at Jalen Phillips. I'm looking at Javon Holland. I'm going, well, wait a minute. Some of these guys are developing. Eichenberg doesn't have any coaching. And look, there's obviously the one defensive player that we're not seeing is Igbenogany. He's got 2 starters in front of him. So until he actually gets real playing time, the kid will never develop and really find out if he can play or not. And right now he'll be looked at as a bust, because the little that he has played, it hasn't been good. But he hasn't had enough playing time. He hasn't had enough coaching at it, so he can make his mistakes, learn from them, and then get back on the field and try to correct them and get better and get better and get better, like Jalen Phillips has. Jalen Phillips doesn't look as lost anymore as he did early on in the season, but that's how it's supposed to be. Javon Holland has been making plays all throughout, but obviously he was kind of a part-timer, and then he's gotten into a full-time, and he's gotten the confidence is built up, and now he knows what the hell he's doing. So he's a completely different player out there, but it's a process. And and some guys haven't been able to go through that process. And right now, I believe the Dolphins offensive line is just a beaten down group mentally and physically. And I think it's really hard right now. They're going to need an offseason to rebuild the confidence. They're going to need an offseason with a true offensive line coach to actually break them back down again and build them back up again fundamentally, physically, mentally, all of those things. It's just, it's a tough situation. Let's see, what else do we have here? I emailed Dave Dugliano, O-line coach. He said Miami knows where he's at. Let's see. Tua threw the ball deep. Noodle arm narrative deleted. LOL. What's next? Well, he's in a bad finger too. So he's got a bad middle. When you got a bad middle finger to throw a football, that's tough, dude. That's tough. I like Tua, man. If they can just protect him, because he can't stay healthy. He can't take a beating. His body's not made for that. That's proven. But you've got to get the line in the running game for him. And you do that, and then maybe you got a chance. Let's see. Nathan says, even on the sidelines, Tua just reminds me of an old beaten down dog tied up outside his whole life. I disagree with that. I think he was disappointed about not playing early on, but it shows you that he still was. If he's so down and depressed, he would have come in and screwed up. And he came in and was focused and made plays. And he's engaged. And he's on the sidelines rooting, Brissett on. Big O, did you notice Tua lacked excitement after the game? He seemed very disappointed with how he's being treated, how things are going with him. Well, I mean, Darren, at this point, he's probably not trusting what's around him right now. That's all. And can you blame him? He knows he had better coaching at Alabama. I keep telling you guys this. The guy, when he walked out to the sidelines and he's talking to his offensive coordinator, you can't compare to the ones he's had here. And his offensive line coaches and everything that goes on in Saban. You cannot compare. So you have, and then you've been pulled and you've been kept down and, you've been, all that's treated with kid gloves and all that stuff. Last night was a bad look for Flo in one sense, that he started Brissett when he really could have gone with Tua. So he and the medical staff made a bad call. Whether he wants to or he wants to blame it on the medical staff or whatever, I don't give a crap. Nizzle says, Victory Friday, baby. Oh, so sweet. Now I can truly relax on Sunday. Enjoy the weekend, all. Nizzle, we will, baby. And thank you for the love on the super chat. And remember, you can give us a little love on Venmo and Cash App. You can make your donation at Venmo and Cash App. And, of course, we get 100% of that. That helps us grow. You can do it on the super chat there on YouTube, but they take 30% away, and they've got enough cash. So just in case, appreciate all of you out there as always for being so supportive of the program. How we doing? We had a little market correction, I see, on crypto. I saw where Bitcoin went down to like 63. Good stuff for somebody that had 63,483 right now. It's starting to climb again, but slowly right now. I think it's going to hit 70 over this weekend. I think it's going to start shooting up today and over the weekend, and by Monday we're going to be looking at 70. Watch. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you'll see a nice little jump now when there's going to be a little rebound, as they say. And it's a little dip everywhere, man. Polygon, which it's at $1.70. I think it's one of the biggest steals in crypto right now. For me, at least, I would be loading up on a little Polygon and staking it on crypto.com and getting 10%, baby. That's what I'd be doing. Let's see what else. Parker, Fuller, and even X-Men all got to go. Their productivity when healthy, but they're always hurt. Plus, we have cap space. Rebuild the line, get an RB, and draft another wide receiver. I mean, Parker and Fuller should be gone. X-Men, I would trade his ass right in the offseason. He's going to start with money again, get his ass out of here. He's just, overrated as hell. I'm just not a fan of the guy, man. On the field, off the field, too inconsistent. After you bitch and complain about all that, and where Omar and I will never agree, you're paying him that kind of money, you're paying him to be a shutdown corner. Okay? I'm paying you to shut down receivers all the effing time. All right? I'm paying you to play like the guy with the Bills. I'm paying you to play like one of the guys in Green Bay. There's some corners in this league that play at an elite level and they get paid that kind of money. Jalen Ramsey and all that. Well, that's what they're paying him, to be a shutdown corner. I'm not sure where Omar is getting this, that you're only paying him to cause turnovers. And yes, he has 2 big turnovers, but I've also seen him give up a lot of touchdowns this year, 6 of them. I've seen him give up a lot of yards this year. I've seen him, like last night, make a stupid mistake on the back end on that one, on the score there. So please, let's not make it sound like he's, this elite corner and playing at a Pat Surtain level. If I'm going to pay you like Jalen Ramsey, then you need to play like Jalen Ramsey. That's all I got to say. Fuller should have been gone the trade deadline. Why? Who would trade for him, dude? It's the same thing as a bunch of you. Oh, let's trade Parker. Let's trade Parker. I had a couple of guys that two different people were texting me leading up to the trading deadline. Hey, I heard Parker's gone. He's traded. 2 different people. And I'm like, okay, sure, dude. We'll see. It's like, who would trade for Parker? Some of you out there, you have this misplaced value of certain players. Like that one, like Will Fuller should have been gone at the trade deadline. Like, what idiot is trading for Will Fuller? What could they possibly give you for Will Fuller? Nobody's going to give you anything, not even a 7th rounder. Devontae Parker, they're not even going to give you a 7th rounder. He's unreliable. He's never on the field. There's this thing out there that, and this happens on every team, every fan base. Every fan base has these fans that they are completely out of tune. They don't really realize, and they think that their crap is valuable to somebody else because Will Fuller is crap. We thought maybe, hey, kid stays healthy. He can play, but can't stay healthy. He's had a finger injury forever, man. I wonder if Tua can do anything to stay a Dolphin next season with Flo as head coach. I'm going to miss Tua if he leaves. Well, he won't leave. They'll be pushing his ass out. That's kind of the way it feels, right? All right, let's take a quick break. We've done an hour already. It's Manny Navarro. Manny Navarro is set to join us next for the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Lando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, baby. Let's switch gears here. We'll get back to a little Dolphins talk. First, let's get a preview of the Miami Hurricanes as they hit the road and get ready to take on FSU. Right now, Manny is stuck in the black hole, so it's really hard to see him right now. All we're seeing is a pitch black picture here. There is no face. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we've got. Wait a minute. Oh, now wait a minute. There we go. There's the masked warrior getting ready to get on the plane in a little bit and head off to Tallahassee. Is your flight on time? Uh-oh. This is dragging. There you go.
Yep.
Is your flight on time?
It is on time. Taking off at 12 o'clock.
Okay, I think you're right? Okay, yeah. It's on time?
Yeah, it's on time. So we're
yes. So you're in the boarding line and everything now?
It's on time.
Doing an interview on the boarding line. God damn,
I just
dude,
went
you
through
are
it.
committed, bro. You are.
That's right. That's what I do.
Oh, you just went through it. Okay, all right. So what? You're going in the plane now, or
Mhm.
what's the deal? Okay, all right. Good stuff.
Gonna be
All right,
boarding.
Manny.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna be
the
boarding in a
question.
few minutes. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So explain to folks how bad was that Pitt win for the Canes last night?
Well, I mean, it puts them in a precarious position in the sense that they're going to need Syracuse or Virginia Tech to pull an upset against Virginia and Pitt. I mean, one of those two teams is going to have to pull an upset. So, I mean, if you want to make the ACC championship game, you're gonna have to get some help, and that's the position they're in right now.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, one more check-in.
All right. No problem. No problem. You want to call me back,
19C.
bro? You want to
19C.
check in after you're done?
It's okay.
Check in after
No,
you're done.
I'm good. I'm good.
You're good?
I'm in already. I'm on the plane. I'm getting on the plane now. It's one of those
Okay.
you got to walk out to the plane deals.
Oh, okay. That's right. You are going to Tallahassee. So yeah, it's what is it? Is it a propeller plane too? Are you going on Piedmont or something?
It's an Embraer jet. So,
Okay.
yeah, but that's the deal. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. One row, two seats, aisle. I got it. I know exactly the kind of plane it is you're going to be on headed to Tallahassee. All right. Hey, the real question we all want to know is the Canes are favored by 2.5. Should we be hitting our Hard Rock app and laying the 2.5 when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to come down to like a field goal or a one score game, a touchdown. I think if you're Miami, you're feeling good about the way they're playing offensively right now. Jordan Travis is coming back for FSU this week, so they'll have their regular starting quarterback, so their offense should be a little better. But I still think Miami wins this game and covers the spread.
Yeah, I kind of like Miami in this game only, and you know what I'm doing? I'm just going with the TVD difference. I just think the kid is a leader, is a winner, is one of those guys that is going to push his players, his team, his offense to be giving their max, and they're going to watch him obviously balling out and doing whatever it takes to win. And I think he's one of those guys that leads by example and also leads by emotion. Am I wrong on this?
No, absolutely. I think without question, he's a guy that, when you're looking to build a program, right, and you need a star quarterback, a guy who sets the example, he is the guy. And, I think the fact that he talked the talk and walked the walk against NC State built him a lot of credibility in the locker room. And so I think this team is 100% behind him now. I think without question, he's the leader of this football team on that side of the ball on offense. And, he's got a supporting cast, man. He's got guys that are good players and guys that want to have his back. And so, he's done what he needs to do to take over as far as the leader is concerned.
What should we, as Canes fans, worry about the most on Saturday taking on FSU?
Well, FSU's pass rush. I mean, Jermaine Johnson is a phenomenal player. I mean, he's one of the best pass rushers in the country, and their defensive line is much improved. So I think that's going to be a big factor in the game. Miami's offensive line on the right side has been excellent. DJ Scaife and Jared Williams. But this is a showcase game for Zion Nelson. He's a guy at the beginning of the season wanted to prove to NFL scouts that he could play and be a high draft pick. Well, this is the kind of matchup going one-on-one against Jermaine Johnson, to prove that he's really worth the draft pick and worth leaving school early.
By the way, you can follow Manny on Twitter at Manny_Navarro if you're listening on the podcast, or of course watching it here live on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to The Athletic and support Manny and all the great writers that cover locally and nationally. And obviously it's a steal of a deal monthly to subscribe to The Athletic. Manny, the defense. The defense is, turned the corner around, right? You feel like we're seeing a much better defense now, right?
Yeah, no question. I think the secondary has improved the last couple of weeks. Even though they gave up 500 and whatever yards to Pickett in Pittsburgh, I still think that they're playing at a different level in terms of just making tackles and not allowing as many big plays. They did give up 3 big plays against Pittsburgh, but I think 340 yards of offense total. And they just did a much better job getting off the field, you know. And so I think over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see more and more improvement, especially as James Williams and Cam Kitchens and Avonte Williams get comfortable. Those three guys at safety are elite players, and to me, that's going to be the difference as this team moves forward.
So talk to me, how is it that these young guys have made such an impact and such a quick transition? What do you see in that?
Well, for one, I mean, Cam Kitchens and James Williams have been guys that have been going to the film room early. You know, they're really dedicated to learning the defense. You know, I've been told over and over again that, you know, they're the first guys in there every single day, 15 minutes early. And so I think that kind of commitment makes a difference in the long run.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. Because, I mean, how much do you attribute it just it's the young players, or there's been adjustments in coaching when you start to look at everything and break down the film?
Yeah, I think part of it is they're being well coached. You know, I think Travaris Robinson's an aggressive coach. He's a guy who wants to play physical man defense, and those guys want to play that style too. But they also have to understand that on certain blitz calls and certain pressure situations, they're going to have to play zone. And so I think they're making that adjustment. You know, when you get to a higher level of football, it's not high school anymore. You can't just win with athleticism. Scheme helps you. And so I think, you know, they're learning in the film room, learning from Ed Reed, learning from everybody there what it takes to be elite safeties and to be elite playmakers in that side of the ball.
Your thoughts on the Rooster carrying the load over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. You know, it's crazy that he had 32 carries last week at home. And you know, I don't know if he can continue to take that kind of pounding physically week after week. I think they're going to have to involve Cody Brown. They're going to have to get Thad Franklin some carries. Both of those guys are still learning pass protection schemes and whatnot. But at some point here, I think just to sort of lighten the load on Rooster's body, you know, he's 5'11", 190 pounds. He's not 210. So it makes a difference when you're getting pounded over and over again. And so I think, you know, he's done a phenomenal job. He's exceptional in the passing game. He's exceptional in open space. And, you know, he makes the most of nothing a lot of times. There's times when everything gets shut down and he still finds a way to squeeze out a yard or two. So I think he's a big difference maker. You know, you could see what Miami was missing the first 4 games when he wasn't around.
Hey, man, we remember Leonard Conley, the Fly? He wasn't a
Yep.
he wasn't a
Good
big
comparison.
guy. He was a tough little guy, dude.
Yeah. And Rooster really reminds me of Duke Johnson in a lot of ways, just from the explosiveness factor.
Yes.
And how good his hands are. You know, Duke was an excellent receiver out of the backfield, and he's still making a living in the NFL doing that kind of stuff, you know, catching balls out of the backfield. So to me, I think that's a very natural comparison for Rooster.
And by the way, I got to tell you, the receivers are putting on, like Charleston, putting on a freaking show, dude. I mean,
well, you think about it.
We're watching some talent at wide receiver.
You're thinking about how many guys have come through here and really haven't been,
right,
you know, elite and just been okay. And he's putting up, you know, he's playing like a true number one. And I think that, you know,
he's reminding me of the Perrimans and the Blades and the Irvins. Yeah. And when I watch Rambo play, I'm watching a big time player now. I'm watching one of those kind of receivers that we used to see in the past, Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, you know, the kind of guy that, you know, the ball's coming to him and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and I think what I like about Rambo more than anything is his toughness, because he's been getting hit pretty hard on some of his plays, and he's not scared. He's not scared of the contact. You'd think a guy like him, he's not exceptionally big, he's very thin frame, and he still goes in there and he takes the lick and he keeps on ticking. And you know, last week he fumbled, right, against Georgia Tech, had the ball sort of hit, stripped from behind as he was trying to make a move. Some guys could go in the tank after that. He didn't. He came back and he made some big catches and helped them win the game. So to me, he's another shining example. You think of KJ Osborne from 2 years ago,
right?
The kid they got out of Buffalo.
Fearless.
Now he's tearing it up in the NFL. Now you got two and 3 years where you go to the transfer portal and you get a receiver, and the guy doesn't just come in and play well. He's like your number one guy. It's a great advertisement for the transfer portal for the next couple of years.
By the way, and you know, now that you mentioned that, that's kind of a characteristic now I'm watching of some of these guys that Manny has recruited. That these are guys that they're cut from a different cloth mentally. They don't get down right away. They don't point fingers. They don't pout and all that. These are kids that are like, "Oh, you got me? All right, I'm gonna get you back on this one." One of these kind of guys. These kids play with an attitude. Is what is my point.
Yeah, there's no question. I think they're a different kind of kid that he's recruited here the last couple of years, and through the transfer portal, he's done a great job. I mean, you go back and you look at the hit rate on the transfer portal. How many guys have been at least contributors in some way, shape, or form?
Big
There's
time.
very few that haven't. I think of Tommy Kennedy, the offensive lineman, and Tate Martell. That's pretty much it. I think everybody else has come in and found the role one way, shape, or form, and some guys have really been, elite and big time contributors. And that's a testament, man, because that's hard to do. When you go into the transfer portal, you really don't know what you're getting, right? You have to do your homework. You have to really figure out a kid's character. And I think Manny's doing a good job of identifying the kind of kids that you want to bring into your locker room that aren't going to disrupt things. We know that he inherited a lot of disruptions with Jaron Williams, who, oh, by the way, is going to another school yet again. He's going to be going to his fourth school entering the transfer portal. So
Those are the kind of kids I'm talking about right there, dude. Those are the kind of kids. These kind of kids, they're not about transferring. I don't think a Charleston Rambo is like, no, I'm here to stay. I'm going to now establish myself. The Roosters establishing himself. Tyler Van Dyke is establishing themselves. These are guys that have come here now and they said, no, this is my spot and I'm taking over. I really like the attitude, and especially some of these safeties, man. They look absolutely freakish, dude. All right, so what's the prediction, Manny? What happens tomorrow, my brother?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot of points because I feel like there's going to be a lot of big plays in this game. Miami's defense is just susceptible to giving them up. And, FSU's got a home run running back in Josh Corbett. And I think their quarterback can make a lot of big plays as well. He's made a lot of big plays for them this year. So I'm thinking something in the 30s. And I think I predicted 36-33 Miami. Kind of a wild scoring fest. Because it's, these are two teams that, always play close games. I know last year it was 52-10, but, FSU's got a much improved defense, and I do think they're a better team than they were last year.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's going to be a lot of fun. And in other words, I'm laying the 2.5, and I'm going Canes tomorrow against the Seminoles. Manny, be safe out there, safe in your travels, my friend. We will catch up on Tuesday, hopefully talking about this Canes win.
Absolutely, brother. Good talking to you.
You got it, baby. You be good. There you go. Manny Navarro, we love him, baby. Canes wear Miami Hurricanes report. All right.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right, we're back. All right, Dolphin fans, let's get ready. What's it called? Brian Flores addressed the media. We have the press conference. Let's listen to Brian Flores, who just addressed the meteors today, the day after a terrific 20-10 win over the Ravens. Let's hear from the head coach. Go ahead, Sean. Fire away, baby.
Him at left tackle, and did they do enough well last night to make you want to continue with those five at least a week from Sunday?
It was a short week, so we felt like it was best to stay with the same group. But they had some good moments. Obviously, like every game, there's always some plays. I'm sure they all wish they had back. But overall, I think it's a group that's developing and getting better. And we'll always evaluate and see and try to do what's best for the team. But we went with that group because of the short week.
And how did Liam play at left tackle? I don't know how much of the film you've been able to watch overnight yet.
Okay, whoa. We've been on the road. We gon' blow your mind.
Still working through that. I know there was a couple big fumble recoveries he grabbed that were big plays for us. But what I've seen so far, some good, some bad. And Liam's a tough kid. He's a hard-working kid, just like the rest of those young players on the offensive line. Still working through the film, but I thought he did some good things.
Thank you.
Hal?
Brian, I know this is kind of an unanswerable question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Last night felt possibly like the kind of win that might be a real springboard for this team. I want to get your thoughts on the possibility that it could be just that.
Well, I thought the guys they played hard for 60 minutes. Baltimore's a good team, good players, good coaches. We talked about that last night. It's always good to get a win. I try to just take things one day at a time. I'm going to finish watching the film here this morning. Try to build on this and build on some of the things that we're doing well. Still try to improve on some of the things we're not doing well, just try to prepare for our next opponent, and hope this team as best I can.
Is there one thing off the top of your head that at this early stage of going through the film that definitely jumped out at you as something that was a real positive that maybe hadn't happened up to this point in the season?
We didn't turn the ball over offensively. It's always a big stat. I think if you start there, that's something we hadn't done this year, and we were able to do that last night. That went a long way.
Thanks.
Tim?
Thanks, Britt. Good morning, Brian. Couple of things. One, just to clean up one thing from last night. Do you anticipate that Jacoby might need imaging or anything like that, just to make sure nothing bad happened, or are you guys pretty confident that he's okay?
We'll always kind of evaluate, guys in the morning, especially after they go down or there's an injury in the game. I think he's going to be okay based off of last night, how he responded last night, but definitely, evaluate, his situation as well as some other guys.
And I know it's never about one player or one play, but and this play didn't even count, obviously, but we don't see a 327-pound man go airborne very often to do what Robert Hunt tried to do last night. How emblematic is that play as you guys get ready for the 7 or whatever games it is you have left that's just what it requires to win. An effort like that is, I'm sure it's what you're preaching. I'm sure everyone knows that it takes efforts like that to win a football game. How emblematic can that be for the rest of your group to watch a guy try to do something that deep down he knew wasn't going to count?
I think it's, that speaks to Rob's, the type of player Rob is. I think we have a lot of players like that. Effort's not an issue. I think our guys give great effort. There's desire to work together and play for one another. And I think that showed in that play. Obviously, was a penalty. We've got to execute better than that. But I think our guys, effort and desire to have success and play for each other. That's not an issue with this team.
Barry?
Brian, I know obviously you all are one of the league leaders in blitz percentage anyway, even before the last couple of weeks. And I know each week you all put in the game plan that you think is best for that week. But with both of those things being said, did you and Josh at all discuss prior to the last couple of weeks about becoming even more aggressive, blitzing even more, just as a general strategy Was that something that you felt or discussed with Josh?
I think Josh and the defensive staff did a nice job coming up with the game plan. They do it every week. And, each week calls for, may call for something a little bit different. This week, the feeling was that, we try to apply some, pressure as much as we could. So, Josh, Campanelli, GA, Chuck, Austin, Robbie, all those guys kind of work together to come up with the game plan that they feel is best for us to have or try to have success. But, really boils down to the players executing, which our guys, were able to do last night against a very good football team.
And one other quick thing from me. I know you said there was good news with Will Fuller this week. Would he be able to practice next week and possibly even play against the Jets?
It's possible. We'll still take it day to day. He's definitely improving and trending in the right direction. We're hopeful for this week. Can't say definitively just yet. We still got a few days before we get back out there. So I'll know more next week.
Thanks.
David?
Hey, Brian, you said you think Jacoby is going to be okay. I know you've got time before your next game, but do you envision Tua continuing forward as starter with both kind of nursing injuries?
What is an easy, affordable, but powerful video editor? So,
Jacoby was banged up yesterday. Same with Tua. Thought Tua did a good job of kind of fighting through, the discomfort. He's obviously, we also him he banged his finger too in the game, which that's kind of what we were trying to avoid. So I think, this situation with Tua, obviously, I've said many times, he's our quarterback. I think, we were, like I said this last night, we try to, protect players from themselves. I think trying to avoid that situation with him banging his finger last night. So we'll just, we got to take it day to day with both players. And see how that goes. But this isn't like I think people are trying to turn this into a controversial situation where, we don't want a certain player to play. I think, I try to look out for the best interests of the players individually, the team, all those things play a role in the decisions we make. And that was the case last night.
Tim?
Brian, not asking you to share your personal schedule for the next 3 days, but how much are you, the staff, the players looking forward to what I assume will be at least a few hours off for you guys and kind of catch your breath a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, the players, they're not in. They won't be in back until Monday. Coaches have a couple of days off as well. I'll be spending a lot of time with the family. So that'll be my schedule.
Is it, I know when you're in the season, I mean, you guys had London and came back and you played right afterward. I mean, is this the right time for a break after, it's been, when you go back to camp, it's been like 15 nonstop weeks for you guys.
Yeah, well, look, we don't make the schedule, so we take the time off when we get it, and I think it's a good time to recharge the battery, get some rest, and then come in Monday ready to go.
Thank you,
Alan?
Good morning, Brian. Albert Wilson had been very quiet for pretty much all of the season, actually, and last night did some good things when his number was called. Two-part question is, one, what led to success last night, you think? And B, based on what he was able to accomplish, would you think you guys might want to make a more concerted effort to get him involved on offense?
Well, we talked as a staff about getting, beat a team like that. You got to get a lot of guys involved. Challenge Albert to practice. He was going to have some opportunities, and he came through. I think that was the case for him and Isaiah Ford and Shaheen. And it's you need a team effort every week, and we got that. We got contributions from a lot of players on the team, offense, defense, and special teams, and that's what you need in this league. What was the second part of the question? Moving forward with Albert?
Yeah, moving forward with Albert.
Yeah. So I mean, look, as we need as many contributions from as many guys as we can. Albert's part of that. Always part of those conversations, and we got to do a better job of trying to get him the ball, get the ball in his hands, and he's got to come through.
There you go. That's the head coach. All right, I got a couple things I want to go over from the press conference. I will do that immediately after we speak to Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right, let's talk a little Miami Heat. As last night, Ira, they end up losing to the Lakers after a nice start, by the way, because we were at Sports Grill.
Yeah.
Watching everything. We were watching Panthers. We were watching North Carolina and Pitt. We were watching the Heat. We were watching the Dolphins. It was a great night last night of sports, man. So many things that were mattering.
And don't tell anyone, but I was watching it all courtside as well. They give us a stats monitor. We found the NFL Network. We watched the Dolphins game. I had the Panthers on my phone because of ESPN Plus and the Bally Sports app. So I was all over the place also. It's funny, just to segue here for a second. So many times teams get upset, they'll walk by do you want me to fix that? It's not on stats. And Anthony Chang and I from the Herald, we were like, no, we're going to enjoy this also. It is amazing. And you know this, because you stay with the Times. You're on all these different social media venues. How times have changed that you can watch anything anywhere. That it used to be, well, I want to go out tonight, honey, but, I also have a game. I can't tell you how many times I go to restaurants, even when I was here in LA, everyone has the game on their phone. Everyone is looking at something else at the same time. And for someone like me who travels, especially when I was out of market, it is great. Even on the airplane now, you get the games on TV up there. You're able to follow the scoreboard on your computer also, sometimes stream if the quality is good. So, yeah, I watched 3 games also. And there's one game I wish I didn't watch the end of. But you know what? Every team's going to have a rough patch.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now the Panthers and the Heat are going through a rough patch. Panthers have lost 3 in a row. The Heat have lost 3 in a row, 4 of the last 5 right now. Last night, no Butler. And I mean, and it started off pretty damn well.
Up 17 in the first quarter. And you know what? That's why. But here's the common thread, because I know you like to get all the teams together. That's why you build equity. That's why you build up a strong record early. The Panthers, no panic time because they're still right where they want to be in the standings.
2-2. I mean,
the Heat, the same thing. You knew this would be a brutal West Coast trip. You knew these would be tough games. All quality teams. You build up enough equity. Let's face it. Even if you lose tomorrow in Salt Lake City against the Jazz, you go to Oklahoma City, you win, you come home against the Pelicans and Wizards, they'll be fine. My Ask Ira mailbag last night, and again, the bad news was it was about 1:30 in the morning till I got to the questions. The good news was I had beer, so it wasn't that bad. But just going through all of those questions there, folks, the world is not coming to an end. You build up equity for reasons like this. The good news is, really, after the next game, you're done with one of your 2 West Coast trips. You have it out of the way. Most of the teams in the East still have to go west. So you enjoy the moment. It's better you deal with the moment, and you enjoy then all the home games that follow.
All right, so let's deal with something going on right now. Jimmy Butler didn't play last night. How is the injury? Will he be available tomorrow? What do you know?
If you saw him on the bench last night, he was moving fine. And I saw him walking around before the game and after. And it's not one of these, it's the high ankle sprain. We got to do more imaging and see where he is. It's a turned his ankle, wants to play it safe. The team didn't even know he was injured when he was off the bench after the first quarter against the Lakers. I think there's an outside chance tomorrow against the Jazz. I think that he'd know at altitude, again, it's going to be pretty tough. I think you might want to get him right. Make sure you win the game against the awful Oklahoma City Thunder. Come home against the awful New Orleans Pelicans and get back on the right track. I don't think you force anything this early in the year. That's why we've seen a game already without Kyle Lowry, a game without Bam Adebayo, a game without Jimmy, and you survive. You know what? When you look at it, again, the last 2 games, total of 6 points, 3-point loss in each, with a shot to take the lead or tie in both games at the end.
Right.
Nothing catastrophic here. You know, I know those who play the lines, it was right on the numbers because those guys tend to know.
They're
but
good.
still, I mean, it's not like it was in Denver. If Denver Big O was repeated and there was another game like that where you're going, what the hell is wrong with these guys? Yeah, then I'd have a degree of concern. I don't. They play good, quality, competitive basketball. And without being typically too long-winded here, what I like in each of the last 2 losses was this. They had a player who showed that he can be a singular type of player to lead the team, whether it was Tyler Hero or whether it was Kyle Lowry last night. And Big O, that was important. I want to see the Kyle Lowry SOB I saw in that playoff series against the Raptors for the Heat when they could have gone to the conference finals against Cleveland and LeBron, and they did. And the thing that I came out of that game after, and I wrote a story in sunsentinel.com about it, is more, please, Kyle Lowry. You are such an SOB. You take that, you know, I'm going to go back a few years because you can relate to this.
There was no Butler last night, so
Yes.
he had to be more
So
of a
he had to,
bitch.
but he can. With
Right,
that
right.
Sherman
Yeah.
Douglas-like body of his. You know, people go to me, is Kyle Lowry out of shape? I go, if Kyle Lowry's out of shape, he's been out of shape for 16 years, and
Right.
he's been just fine because that's who he is. So, yeah. My takeaway from the week so far was this. I know that the Heat have 3 wing players who can take over a game at the end. We saw it from Jimmy Butler, of course, in the 2020 finals against the Lakers. We saw it from Tyler Hero in the 2020 Eastern Conference finals against the Celtics. And now we saw Kyle Lowry do that again. I feel really good now in the, hey, you're in the playoffs, the defense tightens, you have to do it alone, that the Heat have 3 wings to do it alone. I don't think they've had that in a while.
I'm with you there. I mean, it's and the other thing I got to add with Kyle, tough some bitch, because it was just a week ago that Duncan Robinson fell right into his ankle and that thing twisted up and he hopped on one leg all the way out the door, out the damn court. And you're like, oh God, you know, hell, I even bet the Jazz the next day because I didn't think he was going to play. And I'm going, okay, without him, Ira's right. No point guard. It's going to be really tough. And he showed up and showed out. And so I'm really impressed with that. Now, what is a little depressing is, okay, Tyler Hero last night was 0 of 6. Okay, but he's been playing really well this year. But Duncan Robinson, 2 of 11. And there was this 1 or 2 games about a week and a half ago that I thought, okay, looks like maybe Duncan's now starting to find his stroke, but it just did not happen. He has not found his stroke yet. I know Kyle Lowry was talking about it, that he's got to just keep shooting like every shooter. Eventually you'll shoot your way out of it. But it is an element that's really hurting the team right now.
Yeah, you know, every time we talk about it, Eric Spoelstra takes the long view. It'll average out. Shooters
Macro,
come around.
not micro. Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. But like I wrote about Winderman's View at sunsentinel.com, in the moment, right now, today, and a game ago, Duncan Robinson is a liability. He gets in foul trouble. He can't stay on the court. His defense is no, great earth-shaking, addition to the team. And think about it. Even in the last 2 games, he had critical shots and critical moments. The layup that he absolutely butchered. Then they come back the other day, Malik Monk 3. Basically, that puts the game going forward. Last night, Kyle Lowry does everything. He hits a 3-pointer. He makes a 4-point play. He gets a 3-point play. And with 20 seconds to go, he gets a steal with the Heat down 1. He still has the faith in Duncan Robinson. He pitches to the side. Duncan goes up with a 3. Oh, if Duncan Robinson made that 3, we would forget everything else. So he's had 2 redemptive moments available for him. He kind of butchered both of them. Both shots were absolutely the wrong shot or the wrong form at the wrong moment. So, yeah, right now, I don't think it's anything unfair. I don't think Eric Spoelstra could disagree. Duncan Robinson stands at the moment as a Miami Heat liability. I know fans will go with the contract. Oh, 5 years, $90 million, they blew it. No, let's talk after 5 years. But in the moment, yeah, you're talking about a guy you would give a D-.
All right. So every shooter has slumps. What does he do you know, to try to get out of that slump? Is there anything else outside of just shooting again and
He
again?
shoots a gazillion threes, but I think it's all mental. There was a point late in the game. He had that corner three. He has to take that shot. You agree? I agree. Eric Spoelstra agrees. He dribbles in and misses a shorter shot. That's not who Duncan Robinson is.
That's confidence right there at that moment.
And you tell me this all the time about athletes and quarterbacks. You've got to forget everything until the moment. Each moment is its own moment. I don't think that's the case for Duncan. You know, I like to watch body language. I always talk to you that if you're at the game, you see more.
Yes.
Now when he's missing his shots, he's shaking his head. You cannot have that. He needs the team's leaders to lift him up and to stay with him, because even last night, everyone was like, oh, don't worry, Max Strus is back. No, Max Strus is back after 2 weeks off, and he was 2 of 8 on 3. So that wasn't the answer also. It'll come around, but just like last night, just like the Dolphins had to finally have a big play, because you cannot win without big plays in the NFL. Oh, you know this by now. You can't win in the NBA without three-pointers. Think about how the Heat lost the last 2 games, especially when Malik Monk went off against the Lakers. You have to find a way to make threes. So how do the Heat start making threes? By making threes. They've got to return closer to what they are. The looks, Kyle Lowry said this last night, except for Duncan, who is still as highly contested, those are open three-pointers. Kyle's been open. Max Strus has been open. Tyler was open. I'm not a coach. I'm not going to play one here on the Accurate Pembroke Pines report, but my coaching suggestion would be make your goddamn shots.
Where do they, I didn't look it up. Where are they right now in the league when it comes to three-point
they're
shooting?
again teetering toward the bottom. Last year they had the same problem. They were down. 2 years ago, they made the NBA Finals because they were a great three-point shooting team. So again, let's hope law of averages. Same thing last season. Duncan started poorly, came around 40%. That's where we thought he would be. He should get there again. But man, this guy needs a confidence boost. Like, I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe if his cryptocurrency starts rising again, he'll feel better about himself or his other investments. But I'm telling you, if you get a chance, even watching on TV, if they show it, you see a guy whose confidence is gone. And when your confidence is gone, your game is gone.
Yeah, when I get home in a little bit, I'm going to actually watch completely the game from last night, because I only got to watch it in bits and pieces because I was working, obviously, last night. And then I had to go to sleep so I could do this in the morning at the same time.
Welcome to my world. It's like late night and now up early with the big O. And yet, there's no cafecitos in the room, unfortunately.
But you gotta love the way we do things. At least, Ira, it's in this digital platform, we get to adjust to everything that goes on, buddy. So you know what I mean?
It's like I told you when when Hank Oberg briefly had his morning show, and I used to do an 8 a.m. hour-long hit. You did not want to be in the hotel room next to me in San Francisco at 5 a.m. because Ira Winderman is not the quietest person on radio.
Yes, I'm with you. Did you like what you saw from Caleb Martin off the bench last night?
I love the way he contributes, that when they needed a defensive presence on Paul George because PJ Tucker got 2 early fouls, they could trust him. Matter of fact, at the start of the fourth quarter, when Duncan was so far south, Caleb Martin became the three-point shooter of choice and made his 3. Oh, here's the problem. He's only allowed to be active for 50 games this year, which means the Heat will have to play 32 games without him unless they convert his contract. And you know this because you see when I write and Ask Ira, from the get-go, I haven't changed. The construction of this roster is a disaster. And I'm going to go back to one of your favorite talking points. You have a game on Wednesday when everyone's in foul trouble, you have injuries, you're shorthanded, you have 12 active players, 11 play. Among those 11, Gabe Vincent, Omar Yurtseven, Udonis Haslem. Oh, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I think you'll have the answer. Who's the one player who was available who didn't play for the Heat on Wednesday night against the Lakers?
UD. UD.
No, UD did play in that game. KZ Akpala. Yeah, KZ Akpala.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, why not just cut bum-ass KZ Akpala, swallow the money, forget all the stupid draft picks that you gave up for him, and just put Caleb into that spot? Why not do that?
Because you can't, because it'll put you over the tax. The Heat cannot add even a minimum salary unless they move KZ Akpala's salary. I get so many people that ask,
where are they going to move him to? The Turkish league? I mean, who the hell's going to trade for him?
I get so many people that ask me, why don't they just trade him? Well, because someone has to want to take him in a trade to take his salary. The only team that can do it, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are about $20 million below the salary floor. In other words, if they don't take on $20 million in contracts, they have to pay out that money to their players. So I think what the Heat could try to do is say, hey, take my KZ Akpala, please. We'll throw in his full salary as payment and give you a couple of extra $1 million also. Then you open the roster spot either for another player or to move Caleb Martin to be a full roster player. But man, Eric Spoelstra literally turned around on his bench, had 12 players, and to the first 11 said, you, then looked at KZ and said, yeah, not you. I mean, he needed everyone, and he stopped one short. Didn't play again last night. No Jimmy Butler. You would think. It used to be when Jimmy was out, Eric would even start. Spoelstra would start KZ Akpala to keep the rotation in order. Not even thinking that way anymore. He can say all he wants about growth, but it really looks like they're just playing out the string with KZ.
Have you talked to KZ? Has he talked about this situation?
I'm working, I'm putting in the effort, I'm doing things, I'm trying to make winning plays, all the cliches. You know what? There's two factors to being an NBA player. There's the physical skill, and you see this all the time also in the NFL. How many times did people tell you he's a great athlete? You go to the combine, you go to the Senior Bowl. These guys, they run all their tests and you're telling us what great numbers he is in the 40 and the deadlift, he did this and he has a plus wingspan. And understand, that sounds kind of weird when he used to do it and tell us. And he has a beautiful body. God bless you, Big O. I love that you love him. They get oiled up there and in India and look good. That's who KZ is. He's a wonderful athlete. But is he a basketball player? Is he an NBA basketball player? He hasn't shown that. 3 second-round picks given up to draft him. 3-year guaranteed salary in order to develop him. And now with the end of that contract, looks like it's going to run out. And honestly, if they could trade him for a bag of chips, I think they would.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they would. I'm positive they would love to unload him at this point, man, because he is really hurting them right now with that roster spot. That is absolutely brutal. All right, before I let you go, keys to tomorrow night against Utah, because they're going to want revenge, Ira.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's a tough spot right there. Last night, Utah played Indiana, did not look very good, and had a little fracas at the end of the game. Rudy Gobert was involved. Joe Ingles was involved. Again, I'm always on suspension watch this week, and I will be again. So I'm curious to see if Gobert plays. He said he didn't think he did enough to merit a suspension. But the fact that he discussed his suspension makes you wonder. Joe Ingles, an important three-point shooter, and sixth man for them, did bump referee Ed Malloy. Ed Malloy said, though, I know it was incidental, but still, I don't know how the league takes to that. So I need to see who's going to be there for Utah. The Heat are good at bouncing back. Again, like I said, these were close losses. The Heat didn't capitulate in these. They were there right at the end. I expect them to be right there with Utah. I think it comes down sort of like it did the other night at American Airlines Arena. If they can get Rudy Gobert in foul trouble, if they can minimize his impact as a stopper at the rim, if they can get Hassan Whiteside in the game instead, I think they'll be okay. This Heat team competes. The Denver game and the Boston game were the two outliers in the season so far. Not going to be concerned unless there's another. I don't think that happens against, as odd as this sounds, Dwayne Wade's team on Saturday at Vivint Arena.
Yeah, listen, when you have an 82-game schedule, you're going to have those outliers no matter what. Unless you're a really bad team, then it becomes the norm for you. But if you're a good team, you're always going to have those off nights. The question is, don't allow it to become a habitual type of thing overall. So we'll see what happens tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We will catch up with you, sir, on Tuesday. So you be safe in your travels, Ira. Thank you, as always. Great insight, my friend. Appreciate it.
And thank you for interrupting Coach Flo for me so I can catch a flight. Thank you, O. Talk to you next week on Tuesday.
Perfectly. Come on.
It worked out perfect. Talk to you Tuesday on the Acura Pembroke Pines Report. Thank you.
You got it. Be good. There you go. The great Ira Winderman, man, out there getting ready for the Heat and Utah Jazz tomorrow at 5 o'clock. That should be awesome. Let me go back a little bit. Oh, wait. That was the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
There you go. Little dip in Star Atlas. We had to dip ourselves in it. Anyway, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well out there. We heard from Flo right before Ira Winderman and the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report. That's where we're at right now, is at Acura Pembroke Pines, and we love being out here, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Come on out, and make sure if you come on out here to buy or lease a vehicle, please mention our show, okay? It's very, very important, man. Had a long-term relationship with the folks out here, wrapping up our 11th year representing Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. We just heard from Flo a little bit ago, and just a couple things that I want to talk about. First of all, can the man just answer a Tua question straight up? Please, dude. I don't need you hemming and hawing about, we're trying to protect the player. I'm not trying to not have a player not play, or we're trying, because he's hearing even the conspiracy theories are getting to him. You know what I mean? And, dude, just come out and answer the question when they ask you about Tua and about Brissett, and just say, hey, listen, I know they're both banged up. Tua is the starting quarterback. If Tua can play, he will be the number one guy. We go to Jacoby if we feel that Tua isn't healthy enough. That's it. So expect Tua to be the starter as long as he's healthy. End of story. No hemming and hawing and talking about one guy or the other and this and that. Look, I get it, man. He must have some relationship with Brissett. That's why he brought him over, and that's why he can't necessarily just crap on him, because he did the same thing to Kyle Van Noy and Karras. He brought him over, and then he crapped on him right away and got rid of them. So I think he doesn't want to develop that reputation that, hey, I can bring you over. You're one of my guys that I've worked with, this and that, and then, no, I don't need you anymore. And he casts them aside. And so I don't know if he's handling this differently or something like that, or he's trying to give Jacoby as much respect as possible in the process. But the guy you got to give respect to is your franchise quarterback. And if you keep showing weakness in your support of your star quarterback or starting quarterback, then you know what you do to Tua? You kill his value even more. Because if you show that you don't believe in him, then who's going to believe in him? You see what I'm saying? And if they know you don't believe in him, that means they know you're dying to get rid of him, so they know they can lowball you. And they know you're dying to get another quarterback. So, listen, I'm a Tua fan, but I'm not a fan of this situation. And I hate the way Flo has handled the quarterbacks. Typical rookie coach that makes these dumb mistakes and cannot handle the media and looks terrible in front of the media on a consistent basis. And this is Belichick's fault, because all of their disciples do terrible in the media. Josh McDaniels was a clown. Matt Patricia was a fool. And now you've got, Flo sticking his foot in his mouth all the damn time because he just doesn't know how to work the media. It really is just embarrassing at this point. Kid came in, had a messed up finger, helped you win the game. Dude, give him some love. Give him some support. Talk about him like he is what he is, your starter. Talk about him like what he is, your best option right now at quarterback. Because Jacoby is not even close. Damn, Flo. Come on, dude. I mean, you watch that, and it's just embarrassing. Good job, by the way, giving them at least a weekend off. He says it's possible Will Fuller could play against the Jets. Nothing yet, but we'll see. And, I want to talk a little bit about this also. The play by Robert Hunt, and he addressed it, and they were asking about it. I believe Tim Reynolds was asking about it from the AP. And he talked a little bit about that play. And, Tim was asking, is this a play I can lift the team and this and that? And obviously it's an illegal play. But let me tell you something. While it was an illegal play, it was an incredibly smart play. I want you to go back and look at that highlight. not only is he catching the ball, but he's got a couple of other big guys around him, and some of them are not on his team. They're also Ravens. And in the middle of that those humongous trees, like Robert Hunt and the other players, I don't know exactly which were the other players, was a little guy named Myles Gaskin. And Myles Gaskin had no shot at catching that football. What the taller guys were going to get to the ball first. So if Robert Hunt didn't catch that ball, there's a chance it could have been tipped up. There's a chance it could have been turned over, could have been an interception, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. So in the end, Robert Hunt, while making an illegal play, also made an incredibly intelligent play. Now, in a perfect world, you'd like to see him catch it and know exactly where Gaskin is so he can hand it off to him. But again, you're also risking any kind of fumble or something in that moment. And if you don't hand it off cleanly, and plus you're in a group of people, it's just so hard that I thought it was actually a really smart move on his part when I thought about it in the end. And I said it last night with Omar, but I want to repeat it, and I want to talk a little bit more in depth on it, because I thought maybe Robert Hunt didn't even think about what I'm talking about. He just went with instincts, and he was like a kid playing football again in the park with his friends, where he used to catch the football, probably playing a little tight end or wide receiver or something like that, because he was probably a big guy. You know what I'm saying? So the little kid in him came out, and he made a fun play. And by the way, that would have been a touchdown, okay, because the ball had crossed over. Yeah, there you go. Dolphins commemorate Robert Hunt on their elevator. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is beautiful, dude. That is absolutely beautiful. But I want to give Robert Hunt props, because he might have saved the Dolphins a turnover. And to me, that's about the most important thing out there. We got some stuff on the chat board there. All right, there we go. They've been batted. Yeah, so webcam chat, hot girls and boys video chat. Yeah, we blocked them. They're done. Anyway, so just great stuff by Robert Hunt, man. And so anybody tells you, oh, well, no, that was a stupid play. No, actually it wasn't. Actually, he might have saved them a turnover by catching that ball. So nice job by him. Big O put down the hammer. Well, we did. Speak the truth, Big O. Mode, get that spam. Okay, you guys are all on top of it. But you remember you got to put the signs. You got to put the bat sign and the ghost sign. That's what you always got to do. That's the norm here when we have spammers that come in and try to join us.
Somebody's finally the good bots are back.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's true. These bots are a little better than the other ones. Okay, I get you. I get it. Mr. Spock says D. Robinson's confidence is lacking. He needs to keep shooting and not hesitate. Dude passed up too many shots and makes bad decisions with the ball. Yeah, that's what happens with confidence, man. Don't forget, folks, you can smash the like button. It is very important you smash the like button while you're watching on the podcast, listening on the podcast, watching on YouTube. It is very, very important. Remember, you can also make a donation, Cash App or Venmo. Our links are below here on the YouTube channel. If you're listening on the podcast, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show is the other way that you can always reach out to the program. Always appreciate that. Jamie Zorria says, Big O, Omar defends X because they are good friends, so he is biased on X's takes. You cannot blame him for that, but also you can't take him seriously on the subject. He does show favoritism for X. I kind of get that. I get it, but, you know, it's a listen, man, it was a terrific turnover, but he's played like crap this year. Let's not kid ourselves. You know what I mean? If you want to blind yourself up like a regular blind-ass fan and think that he's playing at a Pro Bowl level or he's earning his money, he is not earning his money. He's just not. Hasn't played well. He made several mistakes in that game besides that turnover. And good. I'm glad he's got to make some. I mean, if you're going to be on the field, come on, you got to make some good plays at one point or another. They're paying you a lot of money. Robert says Flo got exposed with his Tua hate yesterday. Brissett went down and the crowd exploded when Tua went in. He had no choice at that point. The place was a funeral until Tua went in. It's just that Brissett inspires nothing. Right? That's the problem. Jay Fiedler at least gave you some fire, dude. You know? Like you felt it at least. You knew that he wasn't a great quarterback, but there was a little something there, you know? Chad Pennington, you knew he was kind of limited physically because he was all broken down, but he gave you a little something. He gave you a little hope. I'm not telling you that some of these guys that we've had post Marino are the answer, but some of them at least have brought it and have tried and have left it there on the field, and you feel good about it. But Brissett is just a guy that you just look at him and you go, jag. Nothing there, man. There's nothing there. There's no moxie whatsoever. Zero. Tyler Van Dyke has more moxie in his thumb than Brissett has in his entire body. Brissett has all the moxie you want at the podium, but not on the field. So, you can have all the bark you want. You got to have some bite. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Van Dyke talks it and then walks it. That's the difference. This man just cannot do it. Guess who was watching that game last night? Tua's new team next year, licking their chops. Big O, what's the crypto code? Go to my Twitter page, bro, at Big O Show. You'll have a link there. Just scroll down the timeline. You'll see it. There's one for Voyager where you can get $25. There's one for OKCoin where you can get $50 of Bitcoin. And there's one for Crypto.com where you can get $25. So you've got them there. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're looking for, it's all there. Make sure you do your homework if you get into crypto. Okay? Do you see Austin Jackson come ramming into Gaskins to try to push him into the end zone at times? You see some effort. Maybe there's still hope. Yeah, maybe he can develop into a guard. I'm telling you, Austin Jackson needs a real offensive line coach. Liam Eichenberg needs a real offensive line coach. Robert Hunt, Solomon Kinley, they need a real offensive line coach. And then they also have to be paired up with a real offensive coordinator. And then they will be able to truly find out if they can play. And like I said earlier in the show, last night proved to me that I think I'm getting closer to having the right answer. We don't know who's right, who's wrong in all of this, but I don't think it's a Greer problem. I think it's a coaching problem. And what Greer's problem is that he hired Flo, and Flo can't get the coaches. That might be a Greer's problem. But when it comes to the talent, we're now starting to watch a lot of the defensive players actually come through. It's those offensive linemen that aren't developing. Too much of a coincidence when they're all failing. So I'd like to find out if they can actually play by getting them real coaches. And then in the next year with real coaches, we'll get a better feel for these guys. All righty. Odell Beckham, by the way, signing with the Rams. How about that? Rodgers is probably going to see. This is why I want to leave. I can't get anybody to come here. I can't even get Odell Beckham to come here.
Well, that was one of the reasons I think teams were using those because of the uncertainty of Rodgers at Green Bay after the season.
Right. Exactly. But, I mean, he was going to sign, what, a one-year deal anyway? He was just going to sign,
unless maybe Green Bay wasn't offering the one-year deal, which
maybe they were trying to lock him up so then they lose the – well, did they give Adams – they never gave Adams his deal, right?
I don't believe so.
So then you're going to lose both because they'll probably tag Adams, right? That's probably what they'll do because if Rodgers leaves and I'm Adams, I don't want to sign a long-term deal. You know what I mean? And the Jordan Love kid looks lost. So, yeah, but as expected, of course, because he hasn't played. The stadium was pretty full yesterday, but it was half and half. You had a lot of Ravens fans there. I don't care about the fans or the Ravens fans being there. I understand Dolphin fans that didn't go.
Well, also, plus half of the Ravens, I think, are from
Miami.
Miami, South Florida area.
Yeah, Lamar and Hollywood and those kind of guys.
A
Yeah.
bunch of those guys are on.
Yeah. They're from here. Devonta Freeman is from here. Yeah, you're right. They have several guys that were from here. KD Shack says, honestly, we had a shot to win with Jacoby because of the defense. I just think it would have been a lot closer and possibly a loss. That's my point. Jimmy Bones says, I want Dieter back ASAP, maybe even able to use this Ryder dude. Saw him make some blocks. Polly King 305 says, I've got written up at work for yelling on our win last night. It's okay because my boss was a Ravens fan, so it was much sweeter. That's Finn's loyalty, Polly. I love you, brother. That's fantastic. All right, we are going to wrap it up here on the show, folks. I know we didn't do a normal at least 3-hour show today, but you got to give me a break. We've had a long 2 weeks, and I need some rest. I got to rest the voice. The voice is still, going well right now. I want to make sure I don't burn it out to the point where I develop a whole bunch of polyps again. Well, one polyp I had, not a bunch of polyps, but I had the polyp in my vocal cords, and that was not a lot of fun. So I got to pace myself. I got to take care of myself. Sean Stanley, as always, great work by Sean, putting it all together like he does every single day. We thank Omar Kelly, Manny Navarro, Ira Winderman. Please smash the like button before you leave. If you're listening to the podcast, please smash the like button. They're on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. We will see all of you on Monday. And remember, next Sunday, it's against the Jets. Let's load up Sports Grill on Bird Road. We're 2-0 at Bird Road. So the vibe is there. Come on out and join us, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thursday, we're going to be at Hialeah Park. The next Thursday, we'll be live at Hialeah Park in the poker room. So come on out and join us. Also on Wednesday, we'll be out at Caneswear. Friday at Caneswear in Davie. So Thursday next week, Hialeah Park. Friday at Caneswear in Davie. So we got a couple of appearances next week. We'll be back on Monday at 10 a.m. ready to rock out the week and ready to get ready for a Dolphins win against those stinking New York Jets, baby. Y'all be good. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the weekend. The Dolphins are going to give us a sweet weekend, man. Last night, we couldn't count on North Carolina to help out the Canes. We couldn't count on the Heat to beat the Lakers. We couldn't count on the Panthers to beat the Penguins. But amazingly, the Dolphins are the ones that came through last night with an enormous win against the Baltimore Ravens. A sweet, sweet win, man. So I'll be having a big old smile on my face all weekend and all week long as we get ready for a Dolphins and Jets game on Sunday. Y'all be good. I love you out there. Please be safe. Catch you on Monday. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.